AKAPADers. We're talking Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, Maximum Effort Entertainment. That's Ryan Reynolds' production company. And a movie called If that cost $110 million. And the special effects look great. The movie looks great. Sure, it looks like that they spent $110 million. But I could not get through this movie. But this is leading us down another rabbit hole. Who's Maximum Effort Entertainment? What else is Ryan Reynolds doing? Actor production company. What are we doing? What is happening with this movie? You have to explain it to me. We're talking more about movies and movie production and production houses. We're going to give a little bit of insight to what happens to actors when they gross millions and tens of millions of dollars selling alcohol, selling a cell phone company, amassing a mass fortune. But guess what? That stuff's easy, and entertainment is hard.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
And here we go, my AKAPADers. Guys, feel free, I'm not joking, wherever you're finding this show, this episode, help me understand where are the imaginary characters coming from? What trauma is maybe leading this girl to imagine these characters? What's the overall premise of like the world that we're in? Like, I hate to say it because I hate the term, what's the world building of this movie? I couldn't track it and I lost interest. And a lot of times you because thank you for streaming. You guys know I love all the streaming services. I just wish the two could coexist. Streaming services or theaters. And I hate to say I kind of rather pick streaming services. Because there, at least I can turn the lights off, blast the sound, watch in my giant TV, watch a movie as it was intended, instead of going to a movie theater where I'm attempted to be sold a $40 popcorn bucket and I got reserved seating and I'm like lounging and I can't focus on the movie because the movie theater thinks I have to be overly comfortable to enjoy something. No, I want to absorb the material. Just give me a wooden chair, a projector, will drop a bed sheet from the ceiling and show me the movie. With all of that said, I couldn't track If, so I moved on. Was I excited? I was foaming at the mouth when this movie, I believe it dropped on Paramount Plus. I was foaming at the mouth to watch this movie because John Krasinski, who, like, you kind of he would always be mentioned. Like, is he going to be Captain America? Is he going to be Star-Lord? Is he going to be Green Lantern and this? And James Gunn is talking to him, and he just walked out of this meeting. And you kind of see a lot of what's happening with Dwight from The Office. Some of these characters on TV are so perfectly cast to the people, and then through the years they kind of take it over and they literally become the character. We see this time and time again. Now, for whatever reason, Steve Carell from The Office, he who lends a voice in this movie, right? Steve Carell's in this movie. I can't believe that Steve Carell evolved over his role in The Office. Like, he leaps and bounds over that role. But if we can even get the kids from Harry Potter and the dude from Twilight removing themselves from typecasts, we have to question what happened with John Krasinski, because it literally doesn't add up. He always had a presence on camera, and there's plenty of characters that fit that. But he started to make an absolute name for himself directing movies. And I'm going through his filmography now. There's movies that he was involved with I didn't even know. So let's touch that. 2009, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. And you look at the movie poster, and there's nothing but like little thumbnail squares of all the men in this movie. But it's all people we recognize. And then you read the description, and it's based on David Foster Wallace. Infinite Jest. Look that up. Promised Land, producer, writer. Oh, Alexa, stop. Excuse. Sorry about that, guys. I said timer sometimes. Promised Land, Matt Damon, writer, producer. 2006, Manchester by the Sea. He's executive producer. Now, a lot of times when we see actors or names that we recognize get the executive producer credit, the world likes to structure it as like, hey, we have to give you. It's almost just like a handout. It's not earned. It is earned because a lot of the names around the executive producer are names that could have gotten the movie and the production to a certain point, and for whatever reason, didn't end up in the movie. They chose to do something else. The studio chose to go a different way, and the executive producer is a thank you. Peyton Manning winning the Super Bowl with the Colts. The previous year, right before the Super Bowl year started, they traded away a guy named Edgerrin James, who literally helped them build the offense. And when they needed like a new running back, they knew the type to replace him with because he was getting a little bit older and he was losing a step, which is very common with NFL running backs. Running back is, as soon as you start your career as an NFL running back, the clock starts ticking. It's one of the most brutal positions in all of sports. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, still gave Edgerrin James a Super Bowl ring, even though he wasn't on the team the year that they won the Super Bowl. That's the executive producer. The Hollers, also 2016, writer-director. I have no idea what this movie is, but it looks fun, intimate, family. Probably it's a little heartfelt, a little gut-wrenching by the end. You can tell just by the poster. And then 2019, here we go. Writer-director, Quiet Place. 2020, writer-director, Quiet Place 2. Right? It's a horror franchise at this point. 2024, this year, Story, Quiet Place Day 1. So instead of directing Quiet Place Day 1, and I get it, you kind of want to split, right? Like you have a franchise, you may be ushered, you were like involved with the story, you give that the thumbs up, you let other people bring their interpretation to it, you go off and maybe you start the next big thing. And that would have been If. Like, there's just the title of this movie. But If it's got Ryan Reynolds and the big purple dude. Like, if Grimace was designed today with today's sensibilities, the purple guy from If would have been Grimace from McDonald's. And then John Krasinski, producer for an upcoming movie called Apartment 7A. Let me see. Do we even have a poster? Apartment 7A. I'm not sure. I guess this movie came out. This movie's produced by Michael Bay. How about that? Based on Rosemary's Baby. Oh, whoa. What is this? Paramount. Is this on Paramount Plus? What is this movie? And I make this promise a lot, AKAPADers. We have to get into his filmography. And look, we have a lot of upcoming directors. And here's the wild thing. I still view John Krasinski as an upcoming director. I really do. I feel like he can go on like a true arc. Quiet Place, it's a landmark movie in what I like to call sensory horror, meaning you can't talk or you can't see and you can't hear, like Bird Box and Hush. There's like a pretty good list of this genre now. They're just fun to watch. It's fun to imagine and to explore with these characters. So I went into If hoping that this movie kind of 110 and the box office is 186. So it didn't quite, right? Like, it didn't quite fail. But I wanted this movie to be a $200, $300, at least $300 movie, like, period. I wanted it to go viral, like, once it hit, because I just viewed the stakes for John K as immense, and John K has everything to lose with this movie. Ryan Reynolds, this is his production company, Maximum Effort. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. They had Deadpool coming for a while. Deadpool wasn't cooking for Deadpool Wolverine or Deadpool 3. So from like Deadpool 2, he makes Free Guy. Free Guy with Walt Disney is an absolute weapon, absolute hit. I love that movie. I didn't talk about it when I first saw it. Budget potentially 125, box office 331. It went crazy on stream. It went viral. People spoke about it. 2022, he's in there's 3 movies from this company. It's The Adam Project, Spirited, and Shotgun Wedding. I heard nothing but good things about Spirited. I believe that's him and Vince Vaughn. Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds. It's a Christmas movie, right? And people have told me they love it. Everyone seems to have crapped on Adam Project. I don't know why. That movie looks amazing. I haven't seen it, but it looks amazing. And then for Amazon Studios, Shotgun Wedding, that kind of has a box office of 8.3, but that could have been for stream. So in 2022, he makes 3 giant movies with the 3 biggest streaming services: Netflix, Apple Plus, Amazon Studios. And then If drops in theaters, Paramount Plus gets it. So technically you can argue even he makes a streaming movie for Paramount Plus. And then 2024, him and Maximum Effort is Deadpool Wolverine. Now, why is Ryan Reynolds in so many of his own movies? A lot of production companies that have actors attached. The reasoning is that the actors they get so skilled because, again, too, like you go through life and you learn different things and you get more skilled. Ryan Reynolds has become one of the most prominent pitchmen on planet Earth. I think he owns a soccer team, right? Like the soccer team's popular. He did Boost or Mint Mobile, sold that off to T-Mobile, made a ton of money. I think he did a gin company, sells that off. So you see just the money pile up. And so what do you do with it? Like you invest it into a production company. A lot of actors are very successful with nurturing their own projects through a production company because there's things you enable with having your own production companies. There's things you can do that you can't do otherwise. That's why you take the risk. So Spirited, Shotgun Wedding, right? Like we kind of want to say Shotgun Wedding is the absolute blemish. Adam Project, a potential. I'm holding out hope for Adam Project because I love the idea that he's hanging out with a younger version of himself. I just think it's brilliant. And then in 2025, next year, we have a movie called Animal Friends coming up, and they have their TBAs is like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dragon's Lair. Whoa, he's involved with Dragon. We were just talking about Dragon's Lair with Don Bluth. We did a holy crap, we did a Anastasia episode. Gaslight Express. He has a lot coming. And then for TV, I believe Ryan Reynolds with Maximum Effort announced a Alf reboot. I don't want to see that. I just love the original Alf so much. So that's a lot of like this movie. Like you kind of want to say in 2024 you could have had a giant children's franchise with If, because I was in my mother and my friend and I, we saw Bad Boys for Life. Had a great effing time, by the way. And in that movie theater, they had a If popcorn bucket, which was just like the big purple dude, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought the thing just looked lovable. It just looked perfect. So you could have had Deadpool Wolverine, the biggest R-rated movie in the history of the known universe, and you could have had If, a whole new children's franchise. Because 2022 production wise, like, Spirited was maybe the only movie I would agree had word of mouth. So it's tough. It's not easy cherry picking even your own projects that you know you're a skilled pitchman for. You can get collaborators. I mean, he gets Will Ferrell for Spirited. That's amazing. The cast for Adam Project is deep. Everyone involved with If is deep. That's what she said. And this again, it's a great miss, and that's how I look at this movie. But then again, it's important in can I talk here? Contextualizing If in the realm of an upcoming director, John K., a current mogul, Ryan Reynolds, and the pursuit of entertainment and developing a new property / franchise. You get, again, it's a perfect, everything's perfect, everything's lined up. Here's our renders. This is what these imaginary characters are going to look like on screen. They are going to be amazing. Look at some of these designs. Look at the care put into it. This is going to hit. And you kind of can imagine these conversations and the hope. It just wasn't there. And maybe one day I will revisit If, but I thought it was valuable to document this. Like just where I'm at right now with this movie. And that's a lot of what this podcast is all about. AKAPAD the Film Buff. Getting out of here. Love you guys.
Okay, that's a wrap.